So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we're taking a look at the DAF F241. So let's get started by taking a look at all of the configuration. Now when I first saw this mod on the mod sort of web page, I did think it was going to be a bit of a basic truck, not many options, just judging by the pictures. But honestly, this has got to be one of the most detailed mods I've tested in the last 6 months. It's really impressive. I mean, if we just have a quick look at the interior, change it to black, look at the textures, look at the dials and the detail on them. It is really, really cool. But yeah, starting off with the cabins, we've got 4 to choose from. Now, this is a bit weird. We've got the day cab, and then we've got the top sleeper cab, which is basically a big box stuck on the top with, I'm guessing, a bed in it. I guess you climb through there, and then you can get in. I mean, if we switch to the day cab, you can see that's different. So yeah, that would be how you get into the top, which is so cool that they've implemented that into the interior. You then got the sleeper cab, so you can see the difference there. You get a bed behind you rather than above you here. I mean, that must be pretty aerodynamically inefficient. I mean, look at that. It's just a massive slab. Could topple over as well. So yeah, that's a lot more efficient there. And then you've also got the space cab. So if I just show you the sleeper cab here, so we got like a little bed in the back. Looks kind of cool. And then you've got the space cab, which is more headroom. I'm guessing, yeah. And you've got bunk beds. So yeah, 4 different interiors. That's the detail on this mod. You see this in more of a modern DAF as well, this sort of shape where it comes out with some more storage. But moving on to the chassis, we've got 4x2, 6x2 with the tag, 6x2 twin steer. So these 2 wheels sort of point in the same direction, and then you've also got a 6x4. So yeah, some nice options there, nothing too outrageous. But this is where it gets really interesting. We've got 695 Newton meters of torque with this 209 horsepower engine, all the way up to 1360 Newton meters with this 373 horsepower engine. So really low power trucks. I mean, that's quite high revving. I mean, 1600 you get that torque available for. The rest are all 1400. I mean, that's 1250. So I bet that's quite a revvy engine, so it's quite fun, I guess. I guess we'll try it. Transmissions, if you go onto the interior, you can see here that all the trucks are modelled with a automatic gearbox. You've got the selector here, so is that reverse? I can't tell if that's P or N, and then D. So yeah, they're all automatic, so I'll probably go for the 6-speed because these are going to be quite slow shifting. So yeah, something to note. You can obviously go from... Hang on a minute. No, it's got 3 pedals. That doesn't make sense. What's that then? R something... I've got no idea. Not a clue. Maybe it is manual then. Just ignore what I just said. I've got no idea what that is. Interesting. But the interior, you've got standard brown, standard dark. So standard is this like yellowy trim here, on here, and then the seats with the blue sort of piping, I guess. Standard brown, you got some like leather trim on the edge and some brown sort of leather down the middle. You also get the wooden dash pieces here, and then you've got exclusive dark, which is probably my favourite over this. You also get the wooden dash rather than this horrible material. And you also get black down here as well. Is that extra insulation maybe? I'm not too sure. Also says DAF there, which is kind of cool. Paint jobs, we've got a few sort of preset ones here, which is kind of nice. Just scroll through them. Original orange, and then the standard SCS ones. So yeah, they're pretty cool. And then you've also got the standard metallic colour as well. Now there's loads of dots available, so we'll start down here. You can have some lower grille guards here, which are all custom, which is nice to see. Everything about this mod is custom. There isn't hardly any options that are just brought across like a bull bar or anything. It's all nicely done, as you can see. It's really well thought of. You got the Marcus, and then you got the stock as well, which is some kind of step, I guess, so you can clean the window. Here we've got what we got: paint or steel. Now I do like the steel; it's quite different. But if you want to go for a more sort of a uniform look, you can go for that painted bumper. You can also change the colour of this grille here. You can go for fully paint, or all plastic, or paint in the middle. Now I do like the plastic; it sort of breaks up the lines a bit. But if you're going for like a darker colour, this would probably look a bit better. But yeah, moving up, we've got some little bull bars here, which are nicely done. It'd be cool if those were painted, but I guess if you go for the steel bumper, it might look a bit better. Then you can also get some mesh over the lights. That's where you can change that grille there. Some logos down the side: ATI 3300, 3360. Now, is that linked to this? I'm not too sure. So I'll probably ignore those, because I'm not too sure if they sort of link to the engine. I can't see ATI or those numbers anywhere, but if any of you know about that, please do let me know. Alright, moving up, we've got some aerodynamic fins along the side. They look a bit weird plastic, to be honest. Paint looks a lot better. You got the mirrors, paint or plastic. Then you got the sun visor, which you can have in green, blue, painted, or even, well, it says red, but it's pink pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty different. We've got some attachment points here, so you put beacons and everything on, or along the side as well, which is nice to put a horn on the side. You got this aircon box, I'm guessing. Then we've got some air deflectors down the side. Moving down here, you can paint the mud guards, but personally I'd leave them plastic. What we got? We've got the door handle, very thin door handle. That's on the inside. Can't change that. We got the tanks. It looks good in steel. We can have them paint, which is a bit in your face, to be honest. Some mud guards with, what's that say, an Istoflex. I mean, look at the detail on that. They're really nicely done. Got a little mesh protection there. Air intake. This is crazy. Some mud flaps on there. Quite nice with the old logo. And then I think that's pretty much it for the exterior. So if we move on to the inside, the wheel you can't change. You've got all your cabin accessories and stuff on there. That's more dash stuff. More cabin accessories. Got the sat nav, because obviously it doesn't have a built-in one. What else we got? Dashboard items. That's the sun visor. You can't change the bedding, which it probably lets it down a bit, to be honest. If they just did it a plain colour, it would have fitted the mod a lot better. Not sure why they had to go for some horrible colour combination there. But I think that's pretty much it for the configuration. So now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Okay then, so here we are, all fully configured. Now, doesn't this look pretty cool? I know it looks a bit weird from that angle, but if we park it next to one of the more modern trucks, you'll be able to see it isn't actually that tall, even though it just looks stupidly thin. So if we just reverse over here, I mean, it's not far off the height of one of these. So yeah, look at that. It's actually not as tall. I mean, that isn't the full sort of cabin either, it's the slightly smaller one. But I do think it looks kind of nice, kind of classic. There isn't any stupidly sort of striking lines. I mean, it's really sort of smooth and nice to look at. If we jump on the inside, you can just see the detail in here. Just look at the dials. I mean, they all work, look. I mean, if we turn it off, you can see them all go back down. And if we just turn the ignition on, I mean, look at that. We've got the fuel usage there, which you hardly ever see dials of that. Obviously rev counter. I mean, you've got hazards, they are light up. I'm not too sure what that is, that button there, but the parking brake, so where is that? No, if not the wipers. I can't work out what this is. It says NPO, maybe it's the lights. Oh no, they're down there. Look, I mean, look, they're animated. Don't think we've got a retarder in here. Not sure what that fan is down there. Don't know if you can see that. But the seats are really detailed. I mean the textures overall are really, really good in here. A little radio up there. Is that a radio or is that a trip sort of computer thing? I think it's a trip computer thing. The sat nav's really small, which is a bit annoying. I wish it was over on this side. But it's really nice, the interior. It's really well done. And then when you turn the lights on, it's got this really nice orange backlighting that you can see. Now, as you know, I went with the 209 horsepower, was it? Engine with 695 newton meters of torque, so not a lot. And we've also got the 16 speed, as you can see here. I'm using the H shifter on my G29. So we'll get going, and you can see it isn't very quick, obviously, but it feels a lot more sort of alive than I thought it would. As I talked about a few minutes ago, it does like to rev this. I mean, power up to 1600 newton meters, well, peak power up to 1600 newton meters, which isn't bad. If we just go quickly, obviously it's not massively quick, but it still moves. I mean, 30, 40, and then 50. Obviously we don't have a trailer yet, so you can't see what it would be like with a trailer until we go and get it. We're just on the way to get it now, but yeah, it isn't too bad at all. Now, one thing I'm noticing is the sort of seating position. I just cannot get it right. I just feel a bit weird in it. I don't know if I'm just not looking down enough or too far forward. Now that doesn't feel right. I've messed with it now. Yeah, I just can't seem to get it right. I think it's because this wheel is absolutely massive. Just kind of sort of messes with my head a bit. But the visibility is amazing. I mean, look at the mirror placement over there, in between the sort of slats in the window. So that's really well thought out. Sometimes those slats do block the mirror, but not in this. And all the sort of pillars are really small, so you've hardly got any blind spots whatsoever. But the trailer, yeah, just over there, as you can see. It's not too loud, this truck, either. Which sometimes older trucks can be, and you can all hear you can hear like little squeaks and rattles, which is kind of cool, kind of authentic. Now, I find the turning circle really weird on this. I mean, it's hardly a short chassis, but it really sort of turns sharply. It's kind of odd. Oh, it's not having that. didn't give it enough power, I don't think. Come on. There we go. I mean, this is, how heavy is this? 15 tons, so that's quite a lot for this truck. Look at the height of that. It looks so funny. But yeah, let's get going. If we just put it into gear, so start off in first, see if it moves. Yeah, it moves. Let's try and keep it in the power band. But yeah, we've even got windows down there that I didn't notice. They look like they're slightly tinted as well. Got a blue tint on them. Now another thing with the steering is it seems like you don't have to give much steering lock for it to turn. I mean, usually on like an older truck you'd have to turn this much to get around a bend like this. But we only have to turn a few degrees, and this is sort of darting over the road, which is kind of unusual. I wouldn't have thought it'd be like this, considering how old it is. Because, I mean, look at this. I only have to turn the wheel slightly, and it's sort of turning around this bend quite nice. It's more of like a modern truck than a classic truck, this. But we are getting up to speed, look. I mean, we're doing 40 kph now. Speed limit's only 50 on here, so that's all good. The windscreen itself is actually quite thin. Just been thinking, because you've got all this up here, so it's kind of unusual. It's probably why I can't get the seating position right as well. It's kind of off-putting, that. It does sound quite nice though, even though it is quite quiet. They've just done a really good job on this mod. As I said, when I first saw it on the mod page, I was thinking this is going to be a bit rubbish, but honestly, this is probably the best truck for detail I've tried in the last 6 months. It's really, really well done. I'm really impressed with it. Glad I had a look as well. So if you do want to give it a go, the link to it will be in my mod spreadsheet, and the link to the mod spreadsheet is in the description as usual. So it is really good. I mean, we've got wind up windows here as well. It's just really well done. Not sure why the speed limit's so low on this road. Let's just try and drop it down a gear. You can hear it working. Yeah, there really isn't much power after that. Seems to prefer the lower RPMs. Only just doing 60. A trailer any heavier than this, it would struggle. Right, let's see what things like to park. Right, where are we going? We're going in here. But yeah, I really do recommend you take a look at this mod. I mean, the configuration's really cool. I mean, look at this cabin, as I've said many times. I haven't really seen a cabin like that before. And it's just really well done. It's quite impressive, really. I also think it's one of the early versions of this mod. So, if that's the case, that's really impressive. Right. Okay. All lined up. Let's put it in reverse. Reverse 1. Listen to that. And there we go. And brake on and engine off. So if you enjoyed that video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. That's the horn. That is a weird horn.